Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz. We're going to begin in Deshay County, where Arkansas State Police are investigating a shooting that left one man dead. ASP says this all happened yesterday afternoon, just northeast of Dumas. Initial reports claim a fight escalated into the fatal shooting when the victim, 40-year-old Travis Ward, charged at the suspect with a knife. That's when the suspect fired back, killing Ward. Deshay County Sheriff's Office says this follows Ward's repeated threats to kill the suspect last week. Ward's body is being taken to the state crime lab for further investigation. And while the suspect's name has not yet been released, he has been questioned by ASP and released while the investigation continues. Meanwhile, over in Conway, police are still searching for answers after a man was shot and killed early yesterday morning. Officers got a call in the early hours for someone lying on the ground near an apartment complex over on Rich Smith Lane. When they arrived, police determined that the man on the ground died from a gunshot wound. Investigators have not yet released any more information on the victim or any possible suspects in that case, but will continue to share the latest information on both of these investigations as we learn more. And in Fort Smith, a man was arrested with a body in his truck after a hit and run yesterday. Authorities say 42-year-old James Jones was driving when he hit and killed a person on a bicycle. Officers later found Jones at his home, where they discovered the victim's body in the back of his pickup truck. Jones is facing charges of manslaughter and leaving the scene of a personal injury accident. Police have not yet released the name of the victim.
Well, we had a pretty good start to the weekend, and as we continued on for our last half of the weekend, it was an even warmer day for a lot of us. Here's a look at what we saw for today. We saw highs around the mid to upper 60s across much of the state, even seeing some 70s on the map. And this warm up is still going to persist the next couple of days before we cool down. Right now, still pretty mild this evening, mid to low 60s as of now. Temperatures aren't going to be dropping a whole lot. We're actually going to be staying pretty warm thanks to that warmer air mass in place. Cloud cover does act like a blanket, so it kind of helps us from seeing those temperatures drop a whole lot as well. And we're going to continue to stay cloudy going into the evening, but our chances for rain increase quite a bit starting tomorrow. We'll start to see some showers, even some storms in the area. That's not the only thing we're expecting going into the week. I'll talk about the pretty busy weather week ahead for us coming up.
Thanks, Corrales. Now, Russian troops have received orders to proceed with an invasion of Ukraine. That's according to new U.S. intelligence. Publicly, Russia announced that its military drills that are near Ukraine's northern border, those were originally slated to end yesterday, but now they're saying they'll continue. Tom Hansen has the latest on rising tensions in the region and throughout all of Europe.
In eastern Ukraine, soldiers are ready and waiting for an attack from Russia. This soldier explains he's been ordered to not return fire, just as he hears incoming fire. International monitors say shelling is intensifying, with nearly 1,500 explosions in 24 hours. This Ukrainian soldier was injured, and Ukraine's military says 2 have died. The area is controlled by pro-Russian rebels, and they continue to urge residents to move to safety in Russia. Thousands have. But in Kyiv, the capital city of nearly 3 million people, there's relative calm. President Biden said Friday this is where Russia intends to strike within days, with some 190,000 troops surrounding the country. Secretary of State Antony Blinken.
Everything we're seeing tells us that the decision we believe President Putin has made to invade is moving forward.
Sunday, the president held an emergency meeting with his national security team and later consulted with French President Emmanuel Macron. Vice President Kamala Harris issued this warning.
We are talking about the real possibility of war in Europe.
Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky requested a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. He hasn't responded, and Sunday blamed Ukraine for escalating tensions and NATO for providing Ukraine with modern weapons and ammunition. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
And Russia continues to say it has no plans to invade. Secretary of State Blinken says President Biden is still willing to talk to Russian President Putin and open to any opportunity to use diplomacy to prevent war. And later this week, Arkansas lawmakers will meet again to consider a plan that would legalize sports betting on mobile phones. The proposal passed out of the legislative subcommittee, and soon it'll head to the full committee. If it clears that hurdle, sports betting apps could go live as early as next Friday. That would allow casinos to have online betting services in Arkansas up and running. If it passes, casinos in the state estimate they could see over 7 figures from March Madness alone. Now, if you commute through downtown Little Rock, you might have to change your typical route. That's because starting in March, President Clinton Avenue will be closed below I-30 for about 5 weeks. It's part of the 30 Crossing project, and drivers instead will be directed to a detour. That's shown on your screen right there, and that detour will take you to 3rd Street. Now, over the past few years, one North Little Rock woman has turned what was an abandoned building into a classroom, hoping not only to beautify the area, but also teach others to share their own beauty. THV 11's Jay Jackson has the story.
If you're not paying attention, you might miss it.
This mural has been up probably right at about 4 to 6 months.
Nestled along 15th and Main Street in North Little Rock, Miranda Davis wanted to showcase the diversity of the city.
Women are painted in strong positions in life. We're no longer the damsels in distress. We're the ones that are coming in, taking charge, and making things happen.
Showcasing different shades and colors, representative of our students who now enter the doors of the building it's painted on.
If you do not understand any parts of these instructions, please ask questions.
So what is it that you guys do here?
I change people's lives.
Davis opened up Estetica Excellence Academy 1 year ago. The 6,000 square foot beauty workspace is a cosmetology school.
You will demonstrate facial masks,
offering advanced training in medical aesthetics. Students from all over Central Arkansas can get licensed in beauty services at an affordable price compared to other schools.
We do a whole lot of drives. We do a whole lot of donations. We give a whole lot of scholarships.
Bringing growth to an area that many advised her to stay away from.
Everyone said, hey, you have no business in that area. And guess what? We have little girls that come in here to get their facials done. It's time for prom. They have somewhere affordable to go. Let's say the single moms need somewhere to go, anything.
Davis hopes more business in her area will also bring more of the North Little Rock community together.
As far as the mural, I love the mural.
And pair art with action.
I love the representation. I love the diversity. I love the strength in women. And what's crazy is whenever you see that mural and you step inside this building, that mural correctly represents every single thing that takes place in this building.
In North Little Rock, Jay Jackson, THV 11 News.